Hi, Mighty Mommy here, and I'm ready to share some quick and dirty parenting tips with you that will help make your life as a parent a little bit easier and a lot more fun. Today's episode is all about smart ways you can maximize the time you spend during your magical vacation in Disney World. I'm your host, Cheryl Butler. My family recently returned from a very full but extremely pleasant vacation to our favorite destination, Disney. And we're already talking about our next trip, which we hope will happen in 2 years. As a veteran vacationer at Walt Disney World in Florida, 20 times now, I've learned from experience the ins and outs of what can help make a trip to Disney World fun and enjoyable and not an exhausting disaster. In my previous episode, 5 Tips for Planning a Magical Disney Vacation, I covered my 5 best tips for planning and preparing for a memorable Disney vacation. This episode will cover 5 ways to really maximize the time you spend in Disney World, making it great fun for the whole family. So my first tip number 1, is download a Disney app. One thing that will help with planning a fun-filled and low-stress trip is to download a Disney app loaded with all your planning and informational needs. Try the Disney World Magic Guest Guide, a comprehensive app that has practically everything you'll need for your next trip to Orlando, including park opening times, GPS-enabled maps, restaurant menus, ride descriptions, and so much more. There's also touringplans.com, and they have a nifty app that you can subscribe to for $12.95 a year. Their planning tool shows you the least crowded park to visit every day, customized touring plans for visiting Disney's best rides, real honest restaurant reviews, and how to save on Disney tickets. There's even a great app for those who are excitedly awaiting their next Disney getaway, the Walt Disney World Countdown app, and this includes a countdown timer with a variety of different picture backgrounds. Tip number 2, eat your biggest meal in the middle of the day. Vacationing with 8 kids isn't cheap, and even if you don't have 8 kids like I do, it still gets expensive when you're in a resort location like Disney World, and you have to plan on eating at least 2 meals in the parks or in the resort property each day. One way we found to save a considerable amount of money is to eat our biggest meal of the day during the afternoon hours, rather than splurging on a big dinner each evening. By eating dinner for lunch, we still get to experience the fun and magic of Disney dining, but at a considerable savings. Tip number 3, don't force attractions or characters on your kids. Parents know their kids better than anyone, so you'll have a pretty good gauge as to whether your 4-year-old will think the Magic Kingdom's Haunted Mansion ride will be spooky fun or if it'll freak them out completely. Many times, it's the parents who want to enjoy as many attractions as possible, so the kids get forced to go along because they can't be left unattended. This makes for a miserable and sometimes disastrous outcome if a child who isn't ready for certain rides or attractions has to participate just because the parents want to. And remember that height restrictions do apply for many rides as well. If 2 parents are along for the vacation and a child just isn't keen about experiencing the attraction, why force them? Take turns sitting a ride out with your child, while your spouse or partner either takes another of your children on the ride or experiences a ride or 2 alone. This advice should also be kept in mind for character greetings as well. Hey, not every 2-year-old thinks a giant mouse is cute and friendly, and it can often be terrifying for young kids to see these Disney characters out and about in the park. So, if your child seems skittish and timid when Tigger bounces over to you, don't be disappointed if he wants nothing to do with him. Tip number 4, book at least 1 character meal in advance. While there are kids that don't quite warm up to Goofy and Friends, there are still plenty of kids and parents who can't get enough of the meet and greets with Mickey and the gang. There will be plenty of character sightings throughout your stay, but most of the formal meet and greets require waiting in lines, sometimes very long lines, for an autograph and a photo op. Sometimes it's just lucky timing that you happen to be in the right place at the right time for such opportunities. But if you don't want to leave everything to chance, book at least 1 character meal in advance. Breakfast is a great time for interaction with the characters because everyone is fresh and ready to start a fun Disney day. You can get an idea of some of the best Disney dining plan character meals by visiting DisneyTouristBlog.com. For this vacation, it was all about the princesses for my 8-year-old daughter, so we booked a princess luncheon at Cinderella's royal castle 2 months in advance, and it was well worth every penny of the $48 per person reservation. She got to meet and talk with 5 of Disney's princesses, and we had a delicious lunch in the castle overlooking Fantasyland. Honestly, I had just as much fun as she did. Oh, and if you're in need of a princess dress costume, buy it in advance at your local Disney store or by visiting the www.disneystore.com site. It's much less expensive. And tip number 5, maximize the spectacular late-night fireworks shows. If you want to see some of the most spectacular fireworks ever, you really should plan to see 1 or 2 of Disney's incredible fireworks shows. Disney takes the art of fireworks to a whole new level by combining them with dramatic music and laser lights, making the presentations absolutely breathtaking. Here are a few firework viewing tips culled from my 20 Disney World visits. Number 1, celebrate the magic. The Cinderella Castle projection show Before the Wishes. Fireworks. It is not to be missed. It's more endearing than the fireworks itself, to be honest with you. My family and I are still talking about this enchanting show in the Magic Kingdom. 2, the best viewing place for the Illuminations Reflections of Earth in Epcot is between the 2 gift shops as you enter the World Showcase. This spot is informally known as the front of the house. Other good spots in Epcot include Italy, the area behind the Rose and Crown pub in England, and the bridge between France and the United Kingdom. My family's favorite is between the gift shops as you enter the World Showcase. The view is stunning from there. Plus, you're closer to the exit of the park so you can get out in front of the crowds when the show is over. 3, if you want to watch the Magic Kingdom fireworks from outside the park, the best location is from the Ticket and Transportation Center to the right of the ferry launch. The beach at Disney's Polynesian Resort is also an alternative, but the view isn't as good. And here's a bonus for you. How you tell your child that you're heading to Disney is also part of the thrill. Check out my Mighty Mommy Pinterest board, which is called Mighty Magical Disney World Vacation Tips, where I have plenty of pins on how you can surprise your family with the big news. We're going to visit Mickey and Minnie. Do you have a Disney vacation tip that has been helpful to your family? We'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments section at quickanddirtytips.com/mighty-mommy or post your ideas on the Mighty Mommy Facebook page. And don't forget to visit my family-friendly boards at pinterest.com/mightymommyqdt. Disney is known as the happiest place on earth. And if you invest some time in planning and getting familiar with the parks and properties before you arrive, and remember to pace yourself instead of turning your vacation into a grueling marathon, you and your family will be sure to experience some most magical memories ever. I hope you have a magical week, and until next time, happy parenting!